How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We just had a massive inflection in the volatility index. So the VIX is the ticker symbol for the CBOE volatility index. This is something that a lot of people use to measure volatility in the market, and we're seeing very low numbers compared to what we've seen over the last year. If you look here, back when the pandemic started, actually a couple days before, we were around 13, 14 on the VIX index, and then we spiked up to 40, we spiked up to 65. Now we're back down. We kind of went into the mid 20s, and then it went back up last summer up into the 30s. It came back down and then spiked back up, but now we really haven't been below 20 very many times. We hit it in mid-February, then it spiked back up on inflation concerns. Right now we're at 19.3, which is a very low number. Now, this has massive implications for what the stock market is doing. If we look here, we can see it's green. The Nasdaq's green, the Dow's green, the S&P 500 is green. We have less concerns than we had even just a week or two ago, right? With the Fed and then also with the 10-year Treasury. Now, those are still concerns for a lot of people. We might see some stagnation here over the next couple months. At least that's what some people are saying. But today we see the Nasdaq up 2%. It doesn't look like there's much concern right now, right? So I want to talk about the VIX today because this was a big moment and it has big implications for what is going to happen going forward. So it's something just to keep on your mind, I think. Now, before we get into it, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate that. It does really help out the channel. Also, if you guys want the link to WeBull, you can definitely check it out down below. They're giving away 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850 when you sign up and deposit $100. So definitely check that out. There's also a link down there to my Patreon in case you want to join our community and see what I'm buying and what a lot of other people are buying too in our Patreon. So the VIX is below 20. The VIX tracks the tendency of the S&P 500 to move away from and then revert back to its mean. So this is on Forbes. When the stock market appears relatively calm, but the VIX index spikes higher, professionals are betting that the prices of the S&P 500 and thereby the stock market as a whole will be moving higher or lower in the short term. When the VIX moves lower, investors may view this as a sign that the index is reverting to the mean with a period of greater volatility soon to end. So right now we're seeing a lot of professionals saying, okay, I think we're going to get to normal numbers. We're not going to see as many spikes in prices. I mean, last year we saw some SPACs that I invested in going up 85% in a day when they announced. We had other companies regularly going up 30 to 50%. We were seeing SPACs get into the 50s. Now, of course, this is the S&P 500, but that just shows you a little bit of the volatility. We saw some S&P 500 companies going up 10, 15% on certain days back last March, last February, when the pandemic was really in full swing and fear was at an all-time high. But we've seen that throughout the year. We've seen a lot of volatility compared to recent years. Now, if we see the VIX rising, this could be a sign of volatility ahead. You might consider shifting some of your portfolio to assets thought to be less risky, like bonds and money market funds. At least this is what Forbes is saying. Alternatively, you could adjust your asset allocation to cash. Now, on the other hand, during times when the VIX is falling, like right now, indicating the possibility of more stability to come in the stock market, it might make more sense to focus on individual stocks or other riskier assets. So this is kind of what we've been investing in, at least I have over the last year. I'm not buying really stable companies, the really large, slow-moving companies. I'm not out here buying Apple every day, and of course some people can make an argument for Apple, but I'm buying high-growth companies. I'm buying Palantirs. I'm buying Black Sky. I'm buying Tesla. I'm buying companies like that. They have a very high risk, but very high reward, very high growth in the coming years. So this is a really interesting point where we're actually seeing the VIX dip down to one-year lows, and we haven't seen that in a while. I'm guessing a lot of people will be making videos on this today. Now you can see that the VIX below 20 is seen as a signal that the stock market is transitioning from a high volatility regime to a low volatility regime. This is on Business Insider, according to the Fairlead Strategies Caddy Stockton. So right now, a fall below 20 in the VIX signals a risk-on environment that would spark fund flows into stocks from systematic and quantitative investment fronts. So right now, we are seeing a shift into something that might be a huge growth here in the future. So we might see hedge funds start to throw a lot more money back at the market. We might see some growth in some of these stocks. Now, of course, I think when we see higher valuations, there's naturally more fear than when something comes up, right? If we go through years of a bull market and or even just like a short term, like really explosive growth, and then something comes out, whether it's the pandemic or whether it's inflation fears or something, there's more volatility than when that happens because we've gone up so much. A lot of people are worried and a lot of people are holding a lot of profit. So they're more likely to maybe jump out, hold some cash. But first of all, we had a little bit of a decline, and now we're starting to see some very low volatility signals that could push us farther up. I mean, we have not seen this, again, like I said, in a very long time. Now, whether we stay here it's a great question because we can see this revert back upward very quickly. You can see we were in the low 21s back in January, and we spiked up to 37 within a week. So we could see volatility jump up very quickly, but that's not something that seems like it's on a lot of people's minds at the moment. Now, of course, we have gone down about 8% today on the VIX. That is a massive move down. We shall see here in the future. Again, there's some inflation concerns. There's some people worried about the 10-year Treasury note. And again, that might be where we're seeing the VIX fall down a little bit today because we saw the 10-year Treasury go up to 1.75 over the weekend. And now it's back down, causing a lot less people to be worried about that. Now it's down below 1.7, again, 1.7. So right now, low volatility index, but that could always change. Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments, though. Do you think this really matters? Is this something that you pay attention to? I know personally, I always have it up when I'm looking at my stocks during the day. I have it definitely as something that gets pulled up every time I look at my stocks, see what's up and what's down, see where the volatility index is, see if people are worried or whether they're feeling confident in what they're doing and in the stock market in general. Now, of course, this is for the S&P 500. It doesn't necessarily represent biotech or the SPAC stocks, stuff like that. But we can see, overall, the bigger companies are up a decent amount today, and there seems to be less fear on that side. Now, there are a lot of companies that are actually red. Now, these 4 companies up here, 5 companies, 6, 7, 8, 9, these 9 companies I all hold, and they're all up 5% plus. So it's a nice day for me for sure. In case you guys want to see what I'm buying and selling, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. I did just mention to the Patreon, that there's a company that's on this list that has their Q4 results, I should say, coming up here next Monday. And it's not BNGO, because I did a video on BNGO earlier. If you guys want to know that company, let me know. I might make a video for it. It's Conversion Labs. It's LifeMD. If you guys want me to do a video on it, I will. They're growing very quickly. Definitely check them out. I've done a video on them before, so definitely go check out that video. I'll put it on the end screen for you guys. But you might want to take a look at this company because it's growing very quickly. It's being valued much less than other companies. Let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for checking out WeBull, Patreon, and BlockFi down below. Bye.